Hey guys, it's Dude Chemistry back on the Food Chemistry Show with a new season, and today along with me I have Mr. Devesh Goklani, who's a cocktail specialist.
Hi everybody.
And today we'll be diving into the science of cocktails and drinks. So let's get started.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Devesh, the first question that comes to mind is how did the cocktail come to be? So, what's the brief history about cocktails?
See, I think cocktail is very interesting beverage to go with. So the history is very funny. Like at older times, people were bored of drinking the normal same alcohol and the boring thing. So what they did is they just added some bitters, some sugar, and some water to dilute it, and there you go. That was the first cocktail created. So that's how a cocktail named Old Fashioned is created. And there's another drink, gin and tonic, which guys be knowing about that. So when the Britishers were ruling over here, so what they did is over here the people were facing many diseases like malaria. So they were consuming medicines, the tonic.
Correct.
So Britishers took their gin and they mixed tonic, and that's how the gin and tonic was introduced.
Okay.
So there's a different history of different countries about cocktails, and there's a still debate going on. Even I'm not sure what is the perfect history. So it is an interesting thing. So everybody could dive in and know more about it.
So basically, like if I put it that way, then the Britishers were tired of drinking that same tonic as medicine every time. So to make it more interesting, they came up with something to.
They were tired of gin.
Okay, they were tired of gin. They were tired of gin.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So they came to know about the tonic which
Correct.
we were drinking at that time.
Correct.
So they made a better combination.
So gin and tonic together, they mixed it and then was born cocktail.
This was the cocktail version.
Okay. I've often heard people say this term whiskey on the rocks. So can you shed some light on the rocks term in this? What it exactly means and where it came from?
So there's a nice on the rock story. So what they did is they found some pebbles in earlier days. Pebbles near the water bodies, like in lakes or in some waterfalls, they used to have some pebbles, and there those pebbles were very chilled. So
Understood.
without dilution, they used to put that in the drink and they used to chill the drink.
Understood.
And the drink was not dilutable.
Okay.
So now we use ice, and ice melts and the drinks get diluted.
Correct.
So earlier it was the pure chillness and pure chilled drink.
Correct. Understood. Thank you so much for your insight. And I would just like to tell the public watching or listening to this that we are discussing about alcohol, but drinking alcohol is up to you. You know what is good for you, you know what is bad for you. But we are going to dive into the science of alcohol, and alcohol is basically made by fermentation. And now we are going to dive further into the science behind cocktails. I've heard about this term called fat washing, which is I think a technique used in making cocktails.
Absolutely.
So can you just explain to me and the audience what fat washing is and how it is used?
So it is a great technique, I suppose, to give flavor to your cocktail or to your spirit. So what we do is we take a fat, like suppose a coconut oil. So if you want to give your spirit a coconut flavor, so what you can do is you can just warm a coconut oil a little bit. You can just pour it into your spirit. You can deep freeze it, and absolutely, alcohol will not freeze. Only the oil will freeze, and it will release its flavor.
Understood.
And we take that oil, we strain that spirit, and we have a coconut spirit with us.
Understood.
So that's how we infuse flavor with fat washing into a spirit. So you can do many different types. You can just do a butter and garlic, and you can add it into your spirit. You'll get a garlic spirit. So you can add chili flakes. You can cook rosemary in butter. So there are many different ways you can infuse the flavor by fat wash method.
Understood. So fat washing is basically using the oil, and along with that we are infusing the flavor into the cocktail which we are making.
Absolutely.
So from a scientific standpoint, alcohol can dissolve both oil soluble and water soluble bases because it has a polar part and a non-polar part.
Absolutely.
So this helps in the fat washing technique.
Yes.
Moving on, there's a very mysterious part I find about cocktails, and I think our audience will be surprised too. There's something like clarified cocktails. Like I always wondered that when cocktails are made, like how do they get their clear texture? So can you tell the audience about clarified cocktails?
Absolutely. So, aren't you interesting if you ordered a pina colada and the bartender gives you a cleared cocktail, but when you drink it, it's the pina colada, actual pina colada. So, we do it with fat wash, milk wash. I'm so sorry, milk wash.
Understood.
So, what we do is we make a cocktail, we add lemon juice, we add milk into it, and milk coagulates all the milk solids over there. We strain it and we get the cocktail with us.
Okay, so basically this is the milk curdling process.
Absolutely.
Where like the casein proteins, like from a scientific standpoint, the casein proteins that are present in the milk, they on heat and like in an acidic or alkaline medium, like you said rightly, adding citric acid, which will create an acidic medium, it clumps and forms solid curds.
Absolutely.
And once those curds are formed, you strain them out, and so that's why the alcohol is also preserved, and the amount of alcohol that was there, that remains the same. I think clarified cocktails was a very interesting part about cocktails. But now moving on, how do you approach infusions with herbs, spices, or fruits in alcohol? And also, does the alcohol percentage affect the efficiency of an infusion?
See, the infusion is very interesting thing. What we do is we take fruits or spices, whatever you want to infuse or whatever our audience want to infuse. So what you can do is we can take a fruit, you can add it into your alcohol, keep it for 2 to 3 days, and boom, you'll get like infusion like a orange spirit with you. Or
Okay.
if you wanna do a coffee infusion, you can do a coffee infusion. You can put some coffee beans into your spirits, and you get a coffee liqueur with you. So we can do a nice, great cocktails with the infusions. And we have some better herbs and spices. Although we are in India, we don't
Yeah.
have any problem of spices. So
Exactly.
we can experiment in any different spices or flavors.
Okay, so basically we take the fruit or the herb or the spice and we just let it sit in the alcohol and slowly it infuses, it stays in the alcohol, correct?
It releases all the characteristics and flavors into the spirit.
Okay,
And answering to your second question, the alcohol strength doesn't affect any of the infusions, although it
Okay.
enhances the infusions.
it enhances the infusion.
Really, yes.
Okay, and also another question comes to mind that many people have this one particular thing that they keep on mentioning after consuming alcohol. They say that it's really bitter, but I think that after infusion, that may act as taste masking also, or otherwise it may complement to the bitter taste as well. So, what is your take on that?
If the fruit or the spice you're putting is non-bitter,
Correct.
like if you're putting any orange or if you're putting something else like cinnamon.
Correct.
Cinnamon is a sweet spice.
Correct.
So it will not exactly it will clear the bitterness, but
Understood.
it will hide a little bit of bitterness of alcohol, and you can mix it with some other juice or any mixer. You can create a nice cocktail out of that.
Understood. So you get that particular taste in the cocktail also of the thing you're
Absolutely.
infusing.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a great point. As we are talking about infusions and the infusion of flavors, I've heard of this interesting technique called sous vide, which is used in infusions. So could you elaborate on that?
So sous vide is a technique in which we use water.
Understood.
We get that temperature constant.
Okay, so you
Like-
heat the water and get it to a temperature constant.
Yeah, on a constant temperature.
Understood.
We put our infusing things and spirit in a Ziploc bag or in a container in which you are comfortable.
Okay.
You can put that into water for 1 hour,
Understood.
and with that heat, the thing which you have, or herbs or spices or fruit which you have, put it into that
For the infusion.
for infusion. So
Yeah.
they release its characteristics. And
Much better.
Yeah.
So even sous vide is a technique by which we enhance the infusion.
So the sous vide technique first was used in kitchen.
Okay.
So
Understood.
to make food or
Correct.
to cook food.
Correct.
Basically. So
Correct.
we brought that into cocktails as well, into a beverage thing. So yeah, I think this is very great asset for cocktail.
So I think that overall we've gathered the information that sous vide is a technique that can help in enhanced infusing, which will give a rich flavor to our alcohol. and also infusing technique is the one which gives the flavor to the alcohol. It can help in taste masking, and also the alcohol which many people find bitter, it might enhance it for them. And on top of that, lastly but not the least, the alcohol percentage does not affect the infusion techniques, but also if we have a very high percentage of alcohol, a very concentrated alcohol, that can help in better infusion as well.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Devesh, many people prefer to have their cocktails with froth on top, and I've heard that to generate that froth, we often use egg whites. So, can you elaborate on that?
Of course, egg white, it's very a strange ingredient, but I think it's very good to give a froth for a cocktail.
Okay.
So it also gives the creaminess and the consistency to the cocktail, like a heavier palate.
Understood.
Yes.
So the
So-
egg white. So do you heat the cocktail along with the egg white to give the froth?
Absolutely not. We just do a dry shake. The dry shake means without ice.
Okay.
So it helps to incorporate the air in the cocktail, and after that we give a wet shake like with the ice, and we strain it and we get the froth.
So then the froth is generated.
Absolutely.
So if I were to put it this way, that if a person wanted a clear drink but with froth, then would you do a milk wash and then you would use egg whites to generate froth?
No, absolutely not. What we can do is we can do a clarified cocktail, and if you want to give a froth on top, so we can do a foaming cylinder by using the nitrogen cylinder. We can give a nice froth on top.
Oh, okay. But if we use the milk wash first and then put in the egg white, then that would result in cloudiness in the drink. So that is why we use the
You will
nitrogen
not get
cylinder.
that clear liquid in your cocktail.
Understood. And also, how does MSG affect the taste of a cocktail, like monosodium glutamate?
Absolutely. So, like MSG, its characteristics is to open the tongue cells in our mouth.
Okay.
So it doesn't have any flavor. It just helps to get the taste of the cocktail more better, more clear.
Okay, so it just
Yeah.
enhances the
Enhances
taste
the
buds.
taste of the cocktail. Likewise, in the food, if we add MSG in our food, so it will it enhances the taste of the food as well, like how the Chinese food does.
Understood.
And the most important question, egg white doesn't have any of the smell in it. So
Okay.
I just want to break the stereotype, like we don't want to consume egg white. It has a bad smell.
Understood.
The storage is wrong. It should be stored in a cool place in a refrigerator, and you should change it daily. So
Okay.
it doesn't have any of the smell.
Understood.
So you
it
can
doesn't give
hassle
us-
free have your egg white in your cocktail, and here you go.
And also in cocktails and in normal life, could you elaborate on the flavors that are available, like a savory flavor or like the types of flavors? Could you elaborate on that?
So we have 5 different flavors. It's sweet, savory, salty, bitter, umami, and there's a 6th one I'm not sure about, is astringency. Astringency is the when your mouth gets dried up. So
Understood.
if you have eaten jamun or a black plum,
Yeah.
so after you eat that, so your mouth will get dried up, and if you'll take a dry wine, if you drink that wine, your mouth get dried up.
Yeah.
So that's the astringency flavor. I'm not sure it's the official flavor, declared flavor, but yeah, that's the one of the flavor.
So from the scientific standpoint, astringency is basically when the tannins in your mouth are dying on the tongue receptors. So that gives that dry taste, and that leads to astringency. And as you rightly said, there are the other 5 flavors. So that sums up astringency and the 5 flavors. And when you build a drink, do you consciously balance sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami?
Absolutely. Uh, See, I have many of my signatures, but
Okay.
few of them are very exceptional.
Okay, so could you like elaborate on your signatures?
Absolutely. So I've made a cinema sour. So it's
Okay.
with popcorn, salted and caramel,
Okay.
with whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I made a popcorn syrup with with using sous vide technique.
Okay, sous vide is the one where we are
Which
warming
we-
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the water.
Understood.
Yeah. And another we have a peanut butter whiskey, sour whiskey.
Okay, so there you've infused the peanut butter taste into whiskey.
Yeah, I've given a fat wash, and I've also added miso for the umami flavor which we talked about.
Understood.
So this was an amazing combination. So we need to measure all the little things, and we have to build a cocktail.
Okay, and just before we get started this podcast, you had told me about one more interesting signature about the wasabi whisper.
Absolutely.
So could you tell about that?
So the wasabi whisper is the sushi in a glass. Like
Oh.
imagine a sushi taste you're getting in a cocktail.
Okay.
So it will give you a wasabi taste. It will give you a pickled ginger, which is served by the sushi. It is made with a gin. So gin has many flavors in that. So it is a complete like a cocktail in itself.
So basically, that's like a signature cocktail suited for Japan.
Not like that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've created my own thing.
Got it. That's a great thing, great innovation.
And also, I'm planning to do a aglio olio pasta in a glass.
Okay.
So yeah, I hope so. It will be a good cocktail.
So you are covering all the countries. First sushi from Japan, and now you are going to aglio olio from Italy. And as we sum up today, I just wanted to clear one mystery. So I often see, like we often see on reels and when we go to bars or something like that also, that they often light the drinks up but without an explosion. So could you explain the mystery behind that?
See, the alcohol is a thing which gets lit up easily.
Correct.
So the sparkle which they use is the cinnamon dust.
Okay.
So this is the mystery behind that. If you lit the alcohol and you dust the cinnamon, so it will give you sparkles.
Okay, so cinnamon dust is the one which helps in like controlling the fire, and it will just stay up till the cinnamon dust
Not
is there.
controlling, but
Okay.
it will only give the sparkles.
Only if the sparkles.
So controlling is in your hand. How much
Understood.
alcohol you are putting,
Understood.
and the technique which you are using,
Okay.
it's upon you.
Okay. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview, Mr. Devesh. And I think our audience also by now is very well savvy with all what we have talked about.
I hope
And,
so. I've
yeah.
reached many of them.
Yeah.
Everybody will not drink like we told.
Yeah. So this is purely based on the science of cocktails and the mystery surrounding cocktails, and it is great for information. And the rest is up to you. And thank you, audience, for being with us up till here. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much.
Don't drink and drive. Drink safely. Goodbye.